Oh man, NXT just went off the air. It's Tuesday. You know what that means? That means we're gonna give you guys an NXT review show. We're gonna give you our thoughts. The Judgment Day was there. What is this, Monday Night Raw? No, it's Tuesday night. They were there. Bron Breakker had a pretty badass match with Dragunov, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff to talk about, and we're gonna tell you guys about it after this very super quick intro that
The dogs
I,
are
I
barking for Bron Breakker.
the dogs are. We'll talk to you guys after the intro. That was great. Felt like there was such a delay there, but hey, everybody, welcome to Unpopular Review, the NXT edition. I am the Grand Poobah of Tuesday nights. That guy Jack joined with the amazing wrestling doll. Wrestling doll, how the heck are you?
I am doing pretty dang good, thank you. How are you?
I don't have a warrant for my arrest, so I think I'm doing pretty well in life. I am very
What
happy.
would you be arrested for?
Oh God, where do I even begin? I feel like there's a graffiti. Believe it or not, I've sprayed graffiti. I think I'm saying too much on air, but there'll probably be a few things.
Well,
But
unless
I'm
the
pretty.
NYPD is watching, I think you'll be safe.
I hope so. I don't know. I think they're always watching. I'm always feel like I'm being watched. But I'm very
You always
well.
feel
I'm
like
excited.
somebody's watching you.
Huh?
You always feel like somebody's watching you, like the
Yeah,
song.
and I move my head like this. I start bopping my head into the
Well,
whole
I was
rhythm. I
about
was
to
like,
head to the song rhythm in my head. I'm not gonna sing it because I can't sing. It.
oh man, you got when you come up here for New York, you know we're gonna do karaoke. And listen, none of us can say. I mean, have you heard the executive consultant? I've heard newborns cry, like they're still in the stomach crying, like oh they're like oh. I know he's gonna watch this video back and sit here and threaten to fire me. But yeah, you gotta come up here for some karaoke. I can't sing you, but I'm always down for some offbeat stuff. We got in the chat, George. You know, I think we're not gonna click the thing. I'm just gonna read it up. George, you're always number one in the chat. Like you're always the very first. Me and Wrestling Doll, just before we went on air, we just shooting the crap, and I saw that we were getting comments, and I said, "Who's that?" That's got probably George, and it's you. We're trying to figure out a name for you now. Like we might call you the number one George because you're always the first one there. We got Jeffrey. What's going on? He says, "What's up, Jack and Wrestling Doll?" What's going on, Jeffrey? How are you, sir? I'm pretty sure that Captain Shay is happy that Finn won. Yeah, she's somewhere. I heard a lot of firework outside my house, and I began to
I
say,
was about
"What
to
the?"
say 4th of July was last weekend.
Well, you thought 4th of July. I thought Cody Rhodes was outside, but then I said, "Oh right, Finn Balor won." So I'm pretty sure that yeah, someone is very happy. But it was great to see the Judgment Day on NXT. I mean, the Judgment Day is the second most over. I'm trying to find that vernacular, so bear with me, folks. But they're well. I don't even know if we say Bloodline anymore, right? Because they're pretty much done, right? They're pretty much a
I think
done.
as far as heel faction, since the bloodline is disintegrating at the seams,
Mhm.
Judgment Day would be number one heel faction right now.
Yep, yep, yep. I would say that because the Bloodline, because who? I mean, it was Roman and Solo, but it's not a
That's not a
faction.
faction. That's a duo with a manager. That's all that is.
No, you're absolutely right. So yeah, Judgment Day is number one, and then even for right now, well, even when Judgment Day, because you know there's a split coming. You know there's a split coming. They're just gonna replace Damien,
With
and I
JD.
feel this. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So you know there's still gonna be a number one, and I mean this is an NXT review show, but you saw. I don't know if you watched Raw, but they look like they're teasing the breakup of Imperium, which I think is a terrible idea.
That is one of
Honestly,
the worst ideas they could have.
I think
Not
what you
bad
do.
if Vince McMahon be back in creative.
I don't know. I just sit here. So I just wanted to share something real quick. But yeah, I just think that's such a bad move. You keep them together. I understood the bloodline. I see what they're doing with Judgment Day. Judgment Day is going to be fine. When they replace
Damage control.
hmm?
With damage control.
Damage control. Damage control. I mean, they were splitting for a while, and especially now when you have Dakota Kai out, Io needs to be on her own. She really does need to be on her own. It's fine, and Bailey's gonna be fine. Bailey is so established, like she's gonna be okay. Bailey's gonna be fine. It's not like, oh look, they're splitting now. They're gonna forget all about Bailey. No, it should be fine. And what other faction? I feel like there's so many factions. The LWO is the only faction where they're not beefing with each other. They're the only faction where they're like,
right now isn't beefing with each other.
I would keep an eye on one Mr. Kevin Owens, because when Sammy gets a little bit more success than Kevin's a hater. He's a part of the hateration society. What he does is that he hates on you. So like if you have a fresh pair of sneakers, he's gonna step on you. Step on your shoes because they're fresh. Like if you're wearing white sneakers, he's gonna step in mud on purpose just so when he steps on your shoes, there's mud on your shoes. So Kevin Owens, you need to watch out for.
Or he'll making royalties, teasing you on how much money you make in a year, which he's done while putting Roman in a chokehold.
That was great, actually. That was hilarious. That was tremendous. We got George has the auto comment on. Oh, because that's why he's always there first. Okay. We all know that Dirty Dom is not going to win the NXT North American Championship.
I don't like the fact they call him Dirty Dom.
You don't like that? Why you don't like that? Please carry on.
He doesn't need that.
It plays it.
Dirty Dom. I'd rather call him Dom Dom.
I like Dirty Dom because it plays it to the whole what do you call him? Hard Knocks, Dom, Jail Time, Dom, whatever.
Jail Time Dom only was in there for 3 hours. I would hardly call it
3 hours. Okay. Well, that's pretty rough time. Listen, I was. It's rough for me to admit this, but I was in prison for an hour. It changes you. I was there. I saw a lot of big, muscular men, and they were sweating. And I said, I never want to be here ever again. So 3 hours, that's pretty rough. I was only there for an hour. I couldn't believe it. And I was only there for such a less crime. They already got Jeffrey said they're already teasing a split with Imperium. Warman is here. What's going on, Walter? Oh, they're going to replace Damian Priest. I'm sorry, Damian Print. I'm going to go with that. Damian Print with JD McDonough. Absolutely. Giovanni about to suffer the wrath of Gunther's chops like Kaiser did. Yep, he absolutely. And
I heard those chops all the way from the Amway Center when that happened. I was like,
oh my God. There's this picture you have to see. I don't know how I found it online, but there's a picture and Gunther is chopping Dragunov, right? But it's in the neck, and it looks so gruesome. It looks gruesome. I would never.
The neck, and you're supposed to hit the nipples. You're supposed to hit the chest. That's how it
Listen, Walter knows that he have the fist of
making a person choke.
Listen, Gunther knows his hands have the strength of like 8 gods. So he knows if he chops you in any kind of way, you're gonna be destroyed. You ever seen this one video where he chops Zack Sabre Jr.? He just chops him, you could just hear it. It's gruesome. We got Jeffrey said, I love X.com. The segment with Ivy Niles and Schism. And you know those two absolutely. You know what? We're gonna talk NXT. I see George, he's for his NXT talk. Thea Hale looked like she's going to get her rematch. She is going to get a rematch. But why don't we break into NXT? I'm sorry, I do stuff old fashioned. I write in a notebook. NXT opened with the Judgment Day. Speaking of Judgment Day, they open up with them. Judgment Day, they get a good reaction. They get a welcome home chat.
Welcome back chance. Well, except for Dom.
Yeah, except Dom.
Dom didn't even say anything on the mic, and everybody was already going boo.
Oh, he gets such great heat. I mean, he honestly gets tremendous heat. Right next to him would be Don Callis in AEW, but he gets such a great reaction. I love that. I love that for him.
There were some mommy chants for Rhea. They thought she was going to speak, so they started chanting mommy, but she passed off to Dom, and then they were like, boo, we don't want to hear him.
Well, started off
talking the entire time. They was booing the hell out of him, so he could hardly get a word out.
That was great, though. They know that's the thing. So Finn was started off. Finn started off. He said, Daddy's home. Then Senior Money in the Bank takes the mic, and they pretty much talk about like, hey, well, they didn't say hey like that, but they were mentioning that there was cracks in the group, but now they're a solid unit. And the unit that you guys thought you were going to get, you're not getting in that broken version. You're getting a solid version of the Judgment Day. Damien does his stick where he goes all rise, like how you mentioned. Dom gets the mic, he gets booed, but then is interrupted by Trick and Mello. And I like this because there was a lot of fire in this promo between. I mean, you know that Trick and Mello because they're such a great pair. I mean, if you guys, we got someone in the chat. We got Johnny, I believe. He said, "Why do I forget to watch NXT every Tuesday?" I don't know. You should check out NXT. It's a fun show. It's a fun watch. Not here to try to sell you on nothing, my guy. But I would just sit here and say, watch it, give it a shot.
Hulu and watch it the next day. I used to do that.
Yeah. Watch it on Hulu the next day and join us here on Unpopular Review for a live stream. We say review, but it's really a party. We talk NXT. We have a good time. There's a lot of yelling on my end. Wrestling Doll brings me back in. I'm talking about people who are. Where's Elvis? Where's my punch?
No.
Where's my?
In here because he acts like I'm John Cena and can't see me.
No, I want my favorite punching bag. I need him here. Oh man, if someone can find him. He's not here? Damn.
I didn't say Elvis. I said Chris is in here.
Yeah, Chris is brutal with him. Yeah, really brutal. But yeah. This was a great opening segment with Trick and Mello. They're getting heat. I liked how there was a spot where Trick, I didn't get to write down everything he said, but he got into Damien's face pretty much saying, "We're about that." And Damien Priest was like, "Yo, what?" Like I like that exchange. Which lead into a match later in the night where it's going to be Judgment Day against Trick and Mello. I thought this was great. Matter of fact, I did have some other stuff here because Mello, he tries to he makes a funny Dirty Dom joke. He makes a drop the soap joke, but Trick stops him. He gives Finn his flowers because Finn, there's a Rushmore. There's this question going on online, and I'm interested in hearing your guys. Mount Rushmore of NXT superstars, and it can include both males and females. Who are your four that you think of NXT? Do you have any
yes.
Mount Rushmore? Go ahead, please take the floor.
Finn Balor, Asuka, Adam Cole,
baby.
Yes, and Ember Moon.
Wow. That last one was a surprise. She was really great in NXT.
Especially her feud with Asuka. That's all I'm gonna say. And the fact that she retired as NXT champion, undefeated.
Let me tell you something about Ember Moon. Matter of fact, it was NXT. I believe it was the second or third. I forget because they had a lot of takeovers out here in Brooklyn, and I thought that she was going to end the streak with Asuka. She hit her with the I forgot what
streak, not Charlotte.
It always bothers me that Charlotte was the one, and there's nothing to take away from Charlotte. Charlotte just didn't need it, and they did it, and it happened. It is what it is. It's in the. I feel
like she does.
It's in the history books. What are you gonna do? You got a really good list. Mine was I included Finn as well. Finn Balor definitely. Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and I put Sasha Banks. Johnny Gargano. If you think Mr. NXT, you could say Finn, but you wouldn't be wrong if you said Johnny Gargano, especially when you think about Johnny Gargano on all the takeovers. He's been in a bunch of takeovers, and I feel like rivaling.
His 2 out of 3 fall match with Adam Cole is one of my favorites.
Yes, it was great. Adam Cole was fantastic in NXT. I wasn't familiar with his work because I know he did ROH and New Japan stuff, but I got more familiar with him with NXT, and I said, this dude is just great. Matter of fact, the stuff he's doing with MJF, I was real quick, it's great. Adam Cole's great. I'm just going to say this. Adam Cole's great. We got JL in the chat. NXT's really pushing I love this guy. I just want to say right now, JL, you are fantastic. Thank you for joining us for the NXT live review show because you are fantastic because I know right now you have just punched a sheep to the moon because Bron Breakker, he had a great showing. Honestly,
listen, he's going to get put up to the main roster one day in either Raw or SmackDown, and you can cheer for him every Monday or Friday.
We got Jeffrey J. He says he mentions to Jay, Braun is far from jobbing out. The match was fine. Yeah, it's not. To me, this feel like this is his swan song. This feel like this is it, and it's fine that he loses on his way out. And now when he goes to the main roster, it's going to be different. We got George. He says his Mount Rushmore is Finn Balor, Adam Cole, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, and Tamaj. So you have 5 people on your list. That's fine. Shayna Baszler was fantastic as well, and I hope they book her back how she was in NXT.
It feels like it with that promo she cut on Ronda, especially with that beginning saying, "I think I speak for everybody when I say we don't want to hear you try to speak on the mic. Or
And
we're
you know what
trying
I
to-
really, you know what that stemmed from, because a lot of people don't like, and it's crazy to me because I'm not a super Ronda Rousey fan, but I don't hate her. I just, like I don't get the hate for Ronda Rousey.
I feel like her second run was very
Yeah.
lackluster in comparison.
Yeah, I
Plus,
agree.
there are people that fit like with what Shayna said, that she just literally waltzed in and just got a spot in WrestleMania.
I really
For
agree
a
with
lot of those people in the back is going to feel like, I've been working here for Lord knows how long, and I've been wanting to get a spot or a shot there, and I can't get one, but someone from UFC could just waltz in and take my shit. I mean, Becky Lynch said the same thing about celebrities being in the shows.
Oh, hold on, wait a second. Have you ever been in New York?
No.
That when you said that, take my shit. I'm not gonna lie. Sound like someone when I get on the E train. That was fantastic.
My brother-in-law's from New York, so.
Okay, there we go. Maybe that's what happened. That was fantastic. Cause I had a 5-year-old tell me that, run your shit. I said, oh, okay. And he was from New York, the dangerous parts of New York. We call it Staten Island. But we have this Tony D interview. He seems very unsure about Stacks and his loyalty. He's just like, I don't understand all this stuff with Stacks. We're gonna talk more about that. We're gonna get to that. We have the opening match. We have Andre Chase and Duke Hudson going against Charles Dempsey and Drew Gulak. Chase U starts off the fight. They go out the ring and they attack the heels.
They're like, we ain't gonna wait. Hell no, let's go.
They went right for it. Duke, pardon the match, and forgive us guys because we don't go move by move, so we just try to get to the point and everything like that. But Duke does a fantastic Hurricane Rana real quick, because everyone think I'm a conspiracist and whatnot. But I've been saying it for the longest time, and I tweeted this, and I said, hey, there's no room in the Duke Hudson bandwagon. If you want to get to your destination, learn how to walk. I've been praising the fantastic Duke Hudson for the longest time. When Andre Chase went into a bar and went into drinking and all that stuff, Duke was there as the professional, trying to get the students to the next level as Andre continued with his fantastic drinking. And seeing that now people are starting to get behind him, which I'm not a fan of, because you missed your chance. This bandwagon has only have room for one chair, and that's for me. So if you want to get to the destination, learn how to walk or get physically fit. That's all I have to say.
So
But
do you
Duke
say that? So does that mean that you walk alone when it comes to being a Duke Hudson fan out of everybody?
And then the bunch of pyro just plays in the background. I do boom. I do all that. Yes, I do all that. And then the spotlight just gets on me. Absolutely. Yes, I do that. I do all that. I don't know. Everyone talks about Cody Rhodes having all this outrageous pyro, but I used to say Batista's overdoing
to do that shit.
Batista was wild with it. I remember I used to play the games, and I was like, how long is it going to take for him to get in the damn ring?
5 minutes.
He's a,
Minutes?
yeah, oh my goodness, yeah, it was ridiculous. But he does this fantastic Hurricane Rana. Eventually, the Hills take over, and they're overwhelming the baby faces. Andre Chase eventually gets some offense in there.
Shout out to Thea Hale for holding down Drew Gulak.
Yes.
No, and not Gulak, Dempsey. Wow.
Was it Dempsey? Yeah, it was Dempsey. Okay.
While they were going 2-on-1 on Gulak in the ring.
That was great. It's amazing because she paid attention to that training, and she hit this Kimura lock, and someone shares them on Twitter. I thought it was great. They were saying Drew has no luck. Was it Drew? Drew have no luck with women. I think it was Drew that got caught in that, because there was a picture and it showed Charlotte or Alexa Bliss putting him in some kind of chokehold or something like that. I forget who it was.
To him.
Yeah, everyone. I feel like all the women have just took a shot at Drew. But Chase, you get the win. Duke does this gory bomb, like he sets up like in a gory bomb. Andre, he gets off from the turnbuckle, hits like a flatliner, pins Charlie, gets the 1, 2, 3. Chase U is on a roll, and I sit here and say that's all thanks to I want to say it's all thanks to Duke Hudson, because he's a leader. And I salute leaders. I'm proud of him. Andre, thank you for just being there. Because a tag match, you need to have a partner. So thanks for just being there. Thanks for standing there. Thanks for being an NPC while Duke was leading to victory.
MVP.
And huh?
MVP. You said
As
MVP.
Oh no, because NPC stands for non-playable character from video games. So that's what Andre was. But Duke was the MVP. He did it. Right now, if it's canon to me, he could beat Thanos and Darkseid at the same time. Congratulations, Duke Hudson. I will continue to salute you while everyone else try to join this fad. Let's move on to the very next thing. Speaking of fads, right? Matter of fact, real quick, did you have any thoughts? I'm sorry, I'm on fire right now. I can't even tell you what's in this cup right now. That's why I'm on fire. But do you have any thoughts about this match?
Well, if you keep talking like that, people are going to think you're drinking Fireball.
I am a fireball.
But I did enjoy this match. It was definitely an entertaining tag match. I will say that. It's nice seeing them together as tag champs. I mean, maybe future tag champs. They could go after Gallus next.
Ooh.
Why not?
You know what? I saw this online, and I would.
There no more. Although if not Tony D and Stacks, maybe them two could go after it.
We got George says.
Make it a 4-way for the belts.
We got George says congratulations to Andre Chase and Duke for the win. Jeffrey thinks it's funny. I say, you like that? Fantastic Duke. Yes, that's what we're going to call him, the Fantastic Duke. I see what you did there, Russell Dahl. He's talking about that joke. You said, do I walk alone? That was fantastic. Round of applause. But damn it, you're not winning. You're not trying to take away funniest host of the year for me.
I'm not.
Yeah, I feel like
funniest host. If I get nominated, it is not my fault because I cannot nominate myself.
Well, someone tell the executive consultant because I feel like he's been nominated himself because no one asked for him in this award. But we got George says the crowd was chatting. You tapped out to Tiffany Stratton, and I liked it.
The entire time. That was so funny. The entire match, they did not stop. The whole Chase U section, which is literally right next to when they come in. They chanted the entire time to Tiffany, you tapped out. And even when she was cutting her awkward-ass promo, they kept doing it. Where she couldn't even talk. It was like when the people were singing Seth Rollins' song to when Finn Balor was trying to do his promo before, which in this case, it worked because it made her very annoyed and irritated,
and she played very well into it. Real quick to talk about that, she played very well.
For those that love Tiffany Stratton, I cannot stand her as the champion. She annoys the ever living hell out of me. She's trying to be like WWE wrestler Barbie. She's trying to be Carmella. She cannot be Carmella. There's only one Carmella. She cannot be her. Just because the woman is out 6 months pregnant doing her thing does not mean that Tiffany Stratton can try to be Carmella.
Wait, she's 6 months?
That's what it said on a thing I found. 6 months, 6 weeks. It might have messed it up. I don't know. But
no, I just because when she announced it. So when I hear people announce that they're pregnant, I thought they just got pregnant. Meanwhile, they've been a whole. But congratulations to her. I do want to say that. Congratulations to her. I'm happy for her. But Tiffany, I just wanted to say to add to everything that you said. I thought Tiffany did a great job. Sometimes people, and she's still relatively new, right? So when the crowd was saying you tapped out, for her to play into that, round of applause for her to do that. Because some people don't know what to do. They get confused. They don't know. They go, oh, what do I do? I don't know why they're shaking like that. I apologize, but they don't know what to do. So for her to be able to know on the spot, like, stop that. Y'all so annoying. Do that. I do a terrible white girl impersonation. I apologize. But yeah, that was pretty much it. We got Jeffrey. He says EC could be nominated for filling Coastal. No, I don't think he. I think he should win expired tuna fish of the year. That's what I think he should get. Speaking of Melly, did you see her modeling the other day? Was that the other day? I thought that was today. I did see that. Yeah, good for her. We got George. He says it's time for Tiffany to lose the NXT Championship, but if not, Thea, hell, who? Here's the thing, though, George. With Tiffany, I don't see her dropping the title anytime soon, and it looked like they're gonna have set up something with Thea and Tiffany at Great American Bash. Thea don't win. This is July. I'm trying to remember my months and stuff like that. I don't see Tiffany dropping that title until like November, December. Like, I don't see her dropping that anytime. She's going to have a run with that belt. She's not dropping the title at the next title defense. So if you're tired of her being champion, too bad. I don't know what to tell you. She's going to hold the title for a while.
As much as you don't like it like I do, we're going to have to deal with it for the next few months.
You got to deal with it the next few months? We have, I hope I'm saying her name right. I want to make sure I heard the name right, but Kelani Jordan?
Kelani
Kelani. Oh, Kelani. There we go.
Kelani.
Thank you. She went against Cora Jade. And this match was solid. It was what it needed to be. Kelani, right? Want to make sure I got that right.
Kelani.
Kelani. There we go. I gotta go through this a few times here, folks. So bear with me. It's just live. This is not taped, so you catch me at my most weakest moments. But she comes out with Dana Brooke, who I think should turn heel on this crowd because this crowd just 3 weeks ago was very rude to her. But you said you did like that. Okay.
Singing the Na 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 song was thanking Cora for breaking her leg.
See, that would make me turn heel. I would sit here and go,
go team with Emma and act like it's all about you guys. Bring back Team Ingenious. I mean, Triple H, hello, you've been missing out on an opportunity since y'all brought Emma back.
I just gotta say, yesterday, I got that they wanted to put Shayna Baszler over. I have no problem with that. I was just upset. I said, you couldn't find anybody else. Like it should have not been. And I don't understand. I don't know if they know what they have.
Out from catering and have her do it.
Who?
Or Lacey Evans. Xia Li, Lacey Evans.
Anybody there's and even you said Xia Li. I like Xia Li. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know. There's people I like and I just don't understand what we're doing. Emma is somebody I just don't get what we're doing here. It baffles me.
I don't think they know anymore.
They brought her back, and it was a great where she went and had that match against Ronda Rousey. I forget how many months back. Okay, fine, I got that. She should not beat the women's champion. That's fine, understood. Let's have a direction with her. There's no direction. There was a period where they just had her team up with Madcap. Where's Madcap? What happened to him? You know what I asked on Monday nights when I see Becky Lynch and she's getting dominated by Trish and Zoe Starks? You know what I asked?
What?
Where's Lita? Where is she? Does she not care about Becky Lynch?
No, listen, she probably cares, but they probably gonna bring her back to do something at SummerSlam. That's what I'm thinking.
All I'm saying is, all the treasures that she's looking for is not worth seeing her little sister get her butt whooped. And her little sister has been getting her butt whooped. And I don't even know why I'm using butt, because I'm a grown man. But she's been getting dominated. She has a little feud with Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux, and that was it. Yeah, but even then, that was how long ago was that? That was a period ago.
That was a while ago. Now those two are feuding with AJ and Mia Yim.
Getting to this match, Cora Jade, she gets the win. She beats Jordan with the DDT. Real quick, just to sum up this match, it was what it needed to be. I think what was great about it was to see how well Jordan does against Cora Jade, who's very established in the NXT universe. You know what she's capable of doing. And she hung in there. Her losing doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't affect her. I can see in a few months. It's hard to pinpoint exactly when you see her being pushed. But I feel like when you have a few more call-ups, she's one of the women that they're going to put focus on. I think she's someone that they definitely should put focus on. After the match, Cora Jade tries to attack her with her. Vic said a kendo stick. I said, that's a bat. She comes out here without.
Technically, even Cora's put it up online saying it's a kendo stick. Stop calling it a bat.
I stand corrected. I apologize, Vic Joseph, and that'll be the last time you ever hear me say that. I don't want anyone to record this at all. Matter of fact, that's the show. We're gonna exit it because oh my god, that was awful. But okay, she tried to attack her with the kendo stick. Jordan dodges it. She does a tremendous job dodging it. And Dana Brooke comes out, hits her with like a drop kick. Cora rolls out the ring, and that is that segment. What did you think about this?
It was a decent match. I did not mind it. I like that they're keeping the Cora Dana Brooke feud going, although I think it's kind of pointless since people like Cora Jade and don't really care for Dana Brooke anymore, considering how badly she's been booked since the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since the injury to to Emma happened, and then she had to team with Charlotte. Poor Dana Brooke. That's all I have to say.
Fair enough.
I mean, she's the literal wrestling Barbie, and she's getting treated like the side character that nobody gives a damn about.
Who you talking about? Dana Brooke?
Yes.
Poor Dana Brooke. She's
a workhorse, even though Mr. EC will talk on and on and on for Lord knows how long about why is Dana Brooke still in the company? She hasn't done anything very worth noting. Why is she still here? They want people to work with, and she will do anything. That's why.
No, she will do. She will do anything. And honestly, I think it's a better fit for her to be in NXT than the main roster anyway. I think it's a better fit for her. But yeah, that was that segment. Let's get into something really, really good. We had well, real quick. Let's dig into these segments real quick, and then we'll talk about this match. We had Dijak. They showed highlights from last week's NXT Underground match with Damian Kemp and Eddie Thorpe. Some really good stuff. So you saw all the people backstage watching that back, and they were like giggling, like, "Oh, that match was crazy. The match was wild." Dijak is a hater. Like Dijak already said, "What? So that makes him the toughest man? Yeah, please." And then he just left. So Dijak is a hater. Wasn't impressed with Eddie, so it looked like that's gonna be the next thing for Dijak. Also next week, Wesley, it was revealed he was talking to Mackenzie, and when they were speaking, she was asking him, "How do you feel about your upcoming match at Great American Bash against Mustafa Ali?" Dom shows up. He shows up with Mommy, and he's like, "Yeah, I accept your open challenge." And like Wesley's like, "Dog, I don't. What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh, you scared?" Wesley just said, "No, I'm not scared, but tell you what, I'm ready. Let's do it." Dom said, "Nah, how about next week? So I can make sure that you're ready." So we're going to get that next week, which is going to be solid. I think that's going to be a really, really solid match. Dom is not winning at all, but I think it's great that the Judgment Day is being featured on NXT. So let's get into this match. We have Bron Breakker.
I just want to say, listen, Dom, you might be in the Judgment Day and be the only one in there that has never competed in NXT to have a belt. That does not mean it's going to start now.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys felt it, but I felt the fire between that. There was a lot of fire on that one. We have Badass Bron. I think that name is going to be fitting. He should take that with him to the main roster. Badass Bron against Ilja Dragunov. What does this say about this match, man? These guys came in with intensity. Bron's an intense guy. Dragunov, I just feel like he's always intense. You knew the match of these guys were going to, and they gave him time too, right? Let me formulate my sentence, right? They gave him time. A lot of times when I see a certain match on NXT, like just regular Tuesday night NXT, I said, man, if they put that on and I say takeover because it's a habit, but a PLE show, get a little bit more time or whatever. You like that's a PLE match. I honestly thought this was going to be a match that they were going to save for the Great American Bash, but that's not the case, which is fine because I feel like the crowd there in NXT was treated as something really special. The crowd was really into this. A lot of good near falls into this. Dragunov, he hits the flying headbutt. I don't know what he calls that. I just called this should end it. Bron kicks out. Bron hits his devastating spear. Dragunov kicks out. So now these guys are like pretty much they're evenly matched. There was a spot. Bron it's a tribute to his father, the top rope bulldog. He didn't get all of it. It looks kind of that was a move. I said he didn't get all that, but the match was good. The match was good. It was intense. I mean, I was taking notes. I was doing a few things, so I would look up. But from when I was seeing the match, and also too, what brought me into the match was the crowd. The crowd reaction it's major. When a crowd, huh? They did.
Fight forever, and this is NXT.
Well, when they said fight forever, I was like, damn, everyone got that AEW game?
Listen, all I gotta say is now that you mentioned AEW, when you say that, I think of the clip I found of Will Ospreay of how he complains of how he feels when people chant fight forever, how he says he doesn't like it, and now he thinks like every time he hears like no, I'm tired. I don't send you that, but it is funny.
That is hilarious, though. That is hilarious. We got a new H-Man.
So relatable to all these people, it must feel.
Yeah, because who wants to sit there and fight forever? Like, if someone said fight forever, I'm like, nah, dog. Like, my endurance, my cardio will not allow that. I could only go very few. So, like, if I was in the ring with Mike Tyson and someone said fight forever, I would punch that guy in the face because why would I want to fight Mike Tyson
Make sure you
forever?
punch him enough so that he can't bite your ear.
Oh no, not Mike Tyson. I'm rolling out the ring. Like, I only would agree to fight Mike Tyson just for the money. And once the bell rings, I'm rolling out the ring. Like, what business do I have being in the ring with Mike freaking Tyson? The guy is 57 years old and still could dominate people. Why would I be in the ring with Mike freaking Tyson?
I don't know. What does Logan Paul have business being in the ring with great professionals in the wrestling industry?
Logan Paul is. I mean, I don't think he should have been in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. That I would say. But from some of the stuff I saw, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. But this match was good. This match was really great. Dragunov got the win. I just want to say real quick, H-Man, we see you in the chat. He said he asked how our Independence Day was. It was good. It was good. We were here. We were here reviewing NXT. How was yours? But this match was good. This match was really great. It was a lot of intensity, and I feel like this is really Braun's swan song. Because what's left? What's left? I mean, he could be on the PLE, but what would he do?
Interfere with the match for the NXT Championship?
I got Jeffrey in the
Or attack
chat.
at the end for whoever wins?
Nah, I think this is it. I honestly think this is it. I think this is Braun. It could he do it? Absolutely. Anything is possible in the world of professional wrestling. I mean, for God's sake, Tony D'Angelo called in from jail to his employer. Like, I think that's so great. I love wrestling so much. I will love wrestling to my final breath, no matter what. I will defend this thing that I talk about called professional wrestling because Kane burnt somebody, and the company said, hey, he has to finish his contractual obligations, although he tried to burn somebody. He tried to commit murder. But see, I used to work story time with Badguy Jack, right? Story time with Papa Jack. I used to work at Toys R Us. It was awful. I hated it. The year was 2007, and I hate that giraffe named Jeffrey. He's terrible. But see, if I went to work and burnt something down, I wouldn't be here talking to you. I'd be behind bars, not Kane. He's somewhere. He's a mayor or somewhere. I hate Toys R Us. I hate him so much.
In the town in Tennessee.
I hate Jeffrey. I hate him so much. If someone could find a great creative version of him in 2K, I would beat the hell out of him. I might even put a handicap match against him and Dom Toretto, because I can't stand Dom Toretto. He has ruined my life. I swear, anybody. I'm sorry. I'm going on a tangent. What did you think about this match about Bron Breakker and Ilja Dragunov?
I only have one way to describe how this match went, and I think it might make you. And it's both gonna maybe make you laugh and also be very sad sounding with the way I'm gonna say it.
Sure.
You know how some not so great people buy and breed pit bulls for the sake of putting them in dog fights?
Oh,
that's what it felt like. Those two were fighting like pit bulls, like if it was their last time ever. That's what it felt like.
It felt like that final anime fight, like because I got the reference what you were saying. Because you're right, there's just these two guys, they're beating the hell out of there. It's men just
like
wrecking each other.
Depend on it. Like,
but I like that.
Having a loser leaves NXT match.
I like that though. I like that because it showed the importance of that, what they're fighting for, that prize. One of the big things I always say in wrestling is that what you're fighting for should feel important. So if you're a champion, right, I think that, oh, look, I need to defend this. I need that belt should feel special, important. And them making it like, oh, I need to win this match for this coveted prize. I thought they did their job very well. So good on them on that. I thought that match was great. It might have been the match of the night, honestly. We got this one segment here. We had Baron Corbin. He says he's trying to find himself. there was a lot of good things that he said here. I liked one of the things that he said earlier. I didn't get a chance to write down, but he said something about a compass, right? He said, "Was a compass without a direction or something like that?" It was really like I don't know. It's just like when I heard it, I was like, "Wow, that's some deep stuff, man." Um, he talked about the past characters that he was portraying. He has nothing in common with his past characters, and then he's trying to figure out who the hell is he. So you saw last week that he was throwing past gimmicks from I don't know what you could throw away from bum ass Corbin, right? I mean, I guess the thing was when he was the
To throw away the button up that was always dirty with whatever stains.
that was honestly I mean, it must have been hell walking around like that because he had like the hair on the side and he just
Saw that live ones. I was happily booing the hell out of him.
they really treated him like not for nothing, right? Once again, professional wrestling. Um, he was working for WWE, but he was still a bum. And I'm trying to figure out like, did they stop paying him? Because I got the gimmick, right? He was didn't they have one video? It was really some really good hilarious stuff. They had one of the videos where he was sleeping in the trucks or something like that. It was hilarious. I don't know if you ever saw any of those stuff, but it was hilarious. He was sleeping in the truck. He was talking about having shaved in like 3 weeks. I'm sitting there saying, wait a minute. You worked for WWE. Did they just stop paying you? To the point where it was so bad, they took his music away. Matter of fact, fun story. I don't know if people watch WCW. I'm sorry, I'm full of stories. But Booker T was feuding with his brother, Stevie Ray, in WCW. And Stevie Ray did everything he could to make his brother's life miserable. He sued Booker T for the T in his name or something, so he had to take the T out. And then Booker T, the music that he come out with, the Can You Dig It Sucker and all that stuff, right? He had it where he's like, that music is copyright. I'm sitting there saying, how does any of this stuff works? I don't understand what's going on here in professional wrestling. And I remember as a kid, I said, I don't think I want to do this as a profession because they're just taking away stuff. And then Booker T came out with Alex in Wonderland music. It was awful. And that's how you could tell I was the only person in the world that watched WCW. But this segment, he talks and he says, he has nothing in common. Who the hell am I? What do you think is next for Baron Corbin?
I think Baron Corbin did the same thing that Elias did a couple years back when he was trying to find himself / bury Elias. Instead of burying himself, he burned all of the shit that he did before. So now, what are they going to do with Corbin next? I don't know. Just have him be himself. And if he's an asshole in real life, then they'll just tell him, you be you, you'll be fine. But if he's not, he'll have to act like something else that's similar to him or fake it till he make it.
It's funny because I've always felt that when he was the lone wolf, that felt like that was his more natural self. I felt that way.
I guess he didn't feel that way.
Yeah, see, that's shocking. He didn't feel that way at all. So we get that. And it's going to be interesting to see that. And I'm glad that he's still in NXT. I think it's a good fit for him, like I was mentioning Dana Brooke, because when they were on the main roster, they weren't doing anything. So I think there's room for them here in NXT. And I'm interested in seeing what happens here next. I did want to talk about this because it was a segment that I did miss. I went over by accident. Because I don't think I mentioned the whole stuff about Von Wagner. Von Wagner, he's opening more. He's talking to Robert Stone. He's mentioning the metal plate in his head. He was talking about all the stuff that happened last week. He said, "Yeah, I kind of went off last week, huh?" And that's when he opens up again about the metal plate. He said, and he mentioned that's why he is how he is. Why he's so angry and defensive and stuff like that. He also mentions that when the fan was behind him, it was such a rush for him. It was for the first time he was like, he felt accepted. I thought this was great. I mean, it was some really good stuff. I've always liked Vaughn. I mean, I've loved Vaughn since he threw, next week I'm going to start bringing words with Jack, but I call that justice. I loved everything about that. Just like I enjoyed the stew that I had before the show. I had the seafood stew. It was great. So it made me happy, like how when Vaughn threw this guy. Jeffrey want to talk about don't forget the segment with Gigi and Kiana. See, I missed a good portion of that, but I know that Kiana was trying to erase a picture or something like that.
No,
I missed that.
she was going through some pictures and stuff, trying to make sure that whatever pictures of her rebellious past didn't come to light, so that nobody would see how she was before, so that they still think she's the prim and proper businesswoman that she likes to act.
Ooh.
Especially when you reminded Miss Gigi of your past by pouring paint on her. So she decided to paint your office and give it an HGG makeover. He said that. HGG makeover.
She thinks she's so clever. Miss Gigi.
Hey, she didn't write that. Somebody did.
You know, I'm still holding a grudge that she, cheated in that match against JC Jane.
A weaponized cage match. There is no cheating that you can do in that thing.
I think she took advantage. I think JC Jane was doing her best to, like, she was trying to work with her, and then Gigi took advantage.
No, she wasn't. If she wanted to work with Gigi, she would not have attacked her during Ding Dong Hello with Bailey.
I like Bailey. She's a sweet sweet person. We had Stacks.
Sweet person when she rips up kids' signs after signing it.
I met Bailey last year at WrestleMania. She took a picture with me. She was very friendly. So anybody who have any kind of Bailey slander, I'm not a fan of it.
I have no Bailey slander, so don't worry about that.
I think you're tremendous. I mean, I feel like you've been under the learning tree of the bad guy. You've done a phenomenal job. I can't say that for a lot of other people who don't learn. And I'm sorry that some people, you're not allergic to learning. So that's what I appreciate about you. You notice the stuff. But yeah, Bailey is fantastic. She's great. And I think Dakota Kai and what's this woman's name? Yes, Io Sky, who was, I was giving praise to Io Sky, but I think she's very ungrateful.
Called Io Shirai, because calling her Io Sky is just stupid.
Well, no, she should be just saying thank you, Bailey. I don't think there's enough of that. Sorry, Bailey, that people are disrespectful. I know this because I communicate with Bailey. I just send her notes and say like, hey, people should respect you. But we have Stacks against Joe Gacy. This match
was something, and we learned something, didn't we?
You want to take the floor? Okay, so what did we learn here?
We learned that little phone call exchange that Joe Coffey had recorded to show to Tony D that Stacks was nothing but a no good snitch was all planned by Tony D and Stacks themselves, because you don't betray family.
I do.
And their match was good. And I just want to say, I noticed that Stacks was dressed like Tony D when he came in the ring. No white pants. He wore green.
Oh, okay.
Which I found very weird, because Joe Coffey was also wearing green. So I was like, are y'all in the Slytherin house in Harry Potter here? What's going on?
I gotta talk to you. So you're a Harry Potter person, because I have no idea about.
But I know about the Harry Potter houses. People go on the website to figure out what house they'd fit in. I have not taken that quiz, so I don't know what house I would quote unquote fit into.
That's interesting. Well, I was gonna say, when you said the green, I was gonna say Gallus. That's their colors. It's green.
It is their color. I was just confused as to why the hell Stacks was wearing green.
I want to say as a play, like, oh look, we're part of the same unit. We're part of the. We said you were talking about the Harry Potter house. We're part of the same house. So I guess that was his way of trying to fool him. He fooled. He has bamboozled Joe Coffey.
He bamboozled Coffey and Dallas. Not to mention during the match, he was even yelling to Coffey that he ain't no snitch.
I don't trust Stacks, honestly. Do you trust Stacks?
I mean, other than the fact that Tony D'Angelo called from prison and revealed that the whole thing was a plan to throw them off and basically get his freedom.
I love wrestling so much, because how the hell does that even happen? When Vic was in there, I think we're getting a call. Can we bring it in? And then you hear Tony on the freaking loudspeaker.
Tony, bitch, and pick up the phone.
Yeah, he's in there going like, yeah, yeah, ahead. Yeah, get him, Stacks. First off, Tony D, how do you know for sure that Stacks was going to win? You put a lot of trust on this guy. Meanwhile, there was 3 other dudes there. But then we also get the appearance of Bronco and Lucien. I hope I'm saying his name right. But I thought they were going to have a match tonight, but that wasn't even the case. They just showed up with
next week or maybe at a Great American Bash.
Right. And they come out, they eyeball Gallus. Stacks is able to get the win. He hits a lot of people with a crowbar, pins Joe Coffey.
Ooh, I gotta give props to Stacks because he hit one of the members of Gallus with the crowbar. And then as the ref is distracted by the other person, he throws it at the guy and then falls down Eddie Guerrero style. I died laughing. I was like, oh my God, he's pulling an Eddie. I'm dead.
Now, not for nothing. Eddie Guerrero, he's left such a legacy with that, because when I see other people do it, sometimes I'll be like, oh man, it's a little overplayed, because I feel like you see it a lot. But every now and then I just chuckle. I'll be like,
I mean, we haven't seen it that often as of late. That seeing it now was nice.
Sure. It's great. I mean, when you see it, there's one of the funnier ones that I've ever seen that do. It's always funny when Ray does it, because you know the connection that he had with Eddie Guerrero.
That one was funny too.
But I laughed at one with Ricochet.
Ricochet did it with Cedric Alexander?
He just did. I'm gonna try to get up, but if I don't get up, I might have to finish the show like this for the rest of the show. But yes,
people need to stop sleeping on Ricochet. He's one of the greatest sellers ever. Compilation videos alone of his selling will prove that to you. Besides being good at flips in the air and such, he is the best seller I have ever seen in my life.
Yes, no, Ricochet is fantastic, and it's great that he's actually getting an actual segment. He's actually doing something at SummerSlam, so good for him. Good for him.
Logan Paul, because now he's got to make Logan Paul look good. Which he's going to keep calling him out on the fact of the botched spot during Money in the Bank. Boy, he was trying to keep your ass safe. Did you want to get your ACL torn again and out for months? I don't think so.
I think I just torn my ACL. Oh my God. I hope listen, I see all this laughter.
Like, that was impressive. That's what I like, but I'm not a TikToker. You're a social media influencer star. You have a TikTok, whether you're going to say it or not. I don't have a TikTok.
Paul. Yeah, Paul. Is it Paul? Yeah, it's Paul Logan. No, Logan's his last name, right? Yeah, Logan. Paul. I don't know. It's 2 first names. I always get confused. I always get upset. But this match was what it had to be. It
was very entertaining.
Yes, it was really, really good. It was really, really good. I might have to save that as a reel. I'm gonna record that. I think I just really tore my. I think I'm totally. Where are we at? 53. What you got? What idea do you got?
Okay, so you put that clip in, and then you put Ricochet next to you, that clip of when he did it, and then put a who did it better on top.
And if I don't win, it's going to be a problem. I will just delete all social media. No one will ever find me. But I'm going to do that. I might work on that tonight. Thank you, Jeffrey. See, look at that. Jeffrey said Jack is great. I appreciate that. I do physical comedy for you guys because I think you guys love physical comedy. That's what I do. I'll fall and all that stuff. I'll do that for you guys as long as I can because I think the body's sitting there saying you're not 25 anymore. But let's get to the main event. We got Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams going against Finn Balor and Damian Priest of the Judgment Day. This match was good. This match was really, really good. We had I don't know if we could put it on a loop, bro. Put it in a loop. But we have Trick. He starts it off with Priest. I thought this was good. I like this because also from early in the night, Trick and Priest were having an exchange back and forth with words. So I like that these two started off. You know, they're filling each other out. Priest overpowers him. There's a lot of tags. There's a lot of action going. It was so much to keep up with. At this point, I'm getting ready to...
It's hard to keep up with when you're 2 against 4, basically.
Yeah, it definitely is. Because you know that the Judgment Day was going to use the number games. And I'm interested in seeing where this goes now because I feel like Melo is not done with Judgment Day. I just don't feel like that's the thing that's going to be a thing.
I doubt
Oh,
it.
I see this. I see
Guy
that
has
segment.
his hands full.
He do have his hand full, and also Melo too because he has
That match
you
with
know,
Dragunov at Great American Bash.
and Dragunov plays a part in this match too because when he tries to help out because the Judgment Day tried to cheat. You know, you have Senior, but I
Money
love
in
that
the
name
Bank.
by the way. Senior Money in the Bank is just so fantastic. Like
I saw him with the briefcase. I was like, he better not be cashing in right now because it makes no sense for him to cash him. And then I was like, oh, he's gonna hit him with it. Never mind, then I'm fine with that. And then Dragunov comes out, tries to help, and then he wants getting kicked in the face by Melo.
Yeah, Melo knocks out Dragunov falls. Priest hits the south. What's it? The south side of heaven. South of heaven. I love that.
Finn hits Melo with the coup de grace.
I love that. I love that, and we'll get to that segment because George mentioned a segment that we didn't mention, but I felt like we kind of talked about it earlier when we talked about Tiffany Stratton with the crowd.
We talked about Ivy versus Tiffany. We were just mainly talking about how people were booing the crap out of her the entire time in that very weird promo that should not have happened because it got cut off because everybody was booing the crap out of her and yelling that she cut down.
I do want to mention real quick, and we'll finish a little bit about the Judgment Day, but I do want to talk to add to the Tiffany and Ivy Now segment that Ivy Niles, who's now by herself without the Creed brothers, because the Creed brothers have been, they've been banished from NXT, right?
I was just about to phrase it like that.
Huh? I was gonna say it like that. Good job, madam. They've been banished. You see Joe Gacy and his croonies. They approach Ivy. Ivy's like, well, if it wasn't for you interfering in the match, well, she didn't sound like Macho Man. I'm sorry, but she said if it wasn't for you,
if it wasn't for you bozos hitting me in the face with that mask, my friends would still be here. And they're basically they were talking like, what are you talking about, Ivy? I was kicked out. How could I have hit him in the face with it? Honey, you probably could have grabbed one of the masks from your crony, snuck in, and hit him in the face with it. I didn't watch that match fully, so I cannot say. Mm-hmm. And then they were basically offering her a deal to join the schism.
Did you see?
Absolutely not. Do I want her to join the schism? When
Joe Gacy and his followers were leaving, did you pay attention towards the end?
That two of them.
They were like two
and Julius.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that 100%. I believe, especially when they were walking, one of them. And it was the built too, right? One of them looked at Ivy almost like, "Don't worry, we got you, girl." So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. And for me, it looks like that's good.
I was about to say they're pulling a trick that one person that Mike Knox absolutely in the world does not like in the world.
Oh my God! I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said. See, look at you with your wrestling history. Look at shout out to you because I know that you just got into wrestling. Like, how long have you been watching wrestling? I know it's relatively new.
I have been watching for in person 3 years, and basically the same thing with WWE. Just a month after I started watching it in person.
But my point is in saying all that, it's a compliments to you because when you said that happened over 20 years ago. I know exactly what you're talking about because
I follow a lot of YouTube channels and a lot of them have like lists of like top 10s of like anything and everything. So I do occasionally watch and listen and learn.
Fantastic. That's a part of the whole wrestling culture. We're always constantly trying to learn it. These random messengers are on my thing, and I'm trying to look at the chat. It's giving that vibe. You're talking about Mr. America, which Mike Knox would totally not. He acknowledged him yesterday. He actually said the name yesterday.
Utter the name of that person, so I will not utter the name of that person because I like Mike.
I gotta sit here and I have a bone to pick with one Mr. Knox though, because yesterday, let me tell you something, Wrestling Doll. First off, I'm great. I tuned in yesterday to the Mike Knox show because it's a fun show. It's great. He's informative. He's fantastic, but he's also a liar. He said, "Oh, there's nobody a bigger Bret Hart fan than me." And shout out to Jeffrey in the chat because he said, "You know Jack like Bret Hart." Yeah, we called him out for it, and I
Everybody
wish
knows you love Bret Hart. I can't believe he forgot about you like that. That breaks
you
my
know,
heart.
right? It breaks my heart too. My pizza oiled hot. You know, he's in the same category as Jeffrey the Giraffe. I'm going to make this a list of things I just don't. Oh, we got a lovely individual in the chat. We got Crazy Joe. I know this guy. He's a shoot friend of mine. Crazy Joe said, "Good evening, UPR family and everybody." Crazy Joe is great. He's the Diesel to my Bret Hart. Oh no, I know where you're going with this. Absolutely, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, that's why
We got a Canadian screw job on our hands. We got a Montreal screw job on our hands here with that.
Jeff, Mike Knox, he breaks my heart every day. He finds a way to disappoint me. He's a he hurt my feelings, and I think that was the last time I tuned into the Mike Knox show. But you guys should continue to watch the Mike Knox show because it's a fantastic show. He's great. He has wrestling knowledge. He's been watching wrestling for such a long period of time that his knowledge. I mean, I think anything that he says, I think it's worth listening to. I have a tattoo too. It's in my heart. You just can't see it. So what does that even mean? And see, she gets it. She understands. She understands. But that was NXT. We hope that you guys enjoyed this review. We know that we were talking about many other things on here. I know we didn't touch every little segment, but we try to touch the main segments, subjects. We try to keep we try to entertain you guys.
As
Hence
we
why.
always do here.
Listen, guys, listen. There's so many shows here on Unpopular Review, right? We don't just talk wrestling. We talk movies. They just did a movie review on Indiana Jones. Yes, 2 of them at that. They did 2 Indiana Jones movies, so you guys should check those out. If you like Indiana Jones movies, if you like Marvel, me and my trio, the trio of destiny, me, Cedar Superior, and Vic, we're talking about Marvel's Secret Invasion. We missed episode 3 last week, but we're on 4, so we're going to do a double tomorrow. But on wrestling, there's so much stuff here. I want you guys to listen to me. I'm not going to put a picture up because I think my voice is going to get you guys to understand what's going on here, right? On Unpopular Review on Mondays, I believe it's around 10. It's the middle of Raw. You can catch the duel of Big Daddy Cool and the executive consultant. It's the wrestling podcast here on Unpopular Review. They talk about everything about wrestling. They just talk about Monday night. They talk about SmackDown. I don't know if they do NXT. They don't do NXT because we do NXT, baby. And they see, there we go. So they talk about pretty much everything in wrestling. They just shoot the shit, and you should just check them out. They're really, really great. They were bragging last week because they sat here and said, "Hey, we have the most ratings." And I'm not going to beg you guys to give us the most ratings, but I sit here and tell you guys like NXT. You guys like what we do here. You guys enjoy what we're doing. Let's get those numbers up, baby. Let's get those things going. Let's get those likes. Watch this back. Did you enjoy? Do y'all want me to do this again? I'll do it again for views. No, I can't do it. I really tore my ACL. I can't do it. But we got NXT. We got the AEW review show, which sometimes the executive consultant is there, but it's really
pretending not to dislike the product that he's watching, and now he's going to be even more upset because Jade Cargill will no longer be on his TV screen for a hot minute because she's enjoying doing stuff outside of wrestling.
And good for her. Good for her. She's a movie star. She could really do movies.
Listen, I was going to say, I might not have been a Jade Cargill fan, but if she wants to go on an adventure doing her own thing and not be a wrestler all the damn time, so be it.
So be it.
And I love how she said, AEW didn't make me famous. I was famous before that. Honey, I hadn't heard of you before I started watching, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know how to follow up with that. But they got an AEW review show. You can catch the Silent. The Sheriff is on there, so they review AEW on Thursdays. If you guys, we do have a top 5. We have a top 5 this Thursday. I was asked to. I wasn't asked. I wouldn't say that, but I wanted to help with the top 5, and I said, top 5. My favorite year of professional wrestling is WWE, however you want to word it, was 2002. I thought that was such a magical year, and I went with top 5 superstars that stood out in 2002. So we hope that you guys can join if you guys are interested in the year 2002. I loved 2002. 2002 was a great year. Brock Lesnar debuted. Jeff Hardy was finding his own. RVD, I thought was just freaking killing it, honestly, in 2002. And there's so many, and Edge too. I mean, there's so many things. So I mean, if you guys are interested, join us. Also on Thursdays, Dark Side of the Rings. You could catch Shay Sawyer and Kat We Trust, or what I have dubbed her as Mistrust. They talk about Dark Side of the Ring. This week, they did Junkyard Dog last week. I think this one is Adonis. I think I'm not too sure. I forget. It's happening right now. Um, and matter of fact, I think we could just put this out in the bag. If you guys like Impact, we're trying to get an Impact review show going out here at some point. So if you guys like Impact, do you watch Impact Wrestling Dog?
I do when I can, and usually when I do, it's women's matches because I like their women's division.
They have a really good women's division. Deonna Purrazzo, Trinity right now.
Giselle Shaw, Alicia,
Shaw.
the Death Dolls.
They're not the Death Dolls anymore. They're like
Bitch.
yeah. Killer Kelly. She's
Kelly.
been they got a great woman. Impact is all about murder now. Like I watched last week, right? And they had this thing.
Bully Ray in there for crying out loud. That's all I'm going to say.
Bully Ray is murdering. Like they burnt PCO once again more, and I love it because there's literally, I mean, that's attempted murder, and yet they'll still show up to the employer. But I can't do that at Toys R Us. I hate Jeffrey so much. I am so much.
Well, as we got Toys R Us, you should be fine.
I've had a dream that I had a steel cage match with Jeffrey to draft, right? And I just hit him with like. My finisher is called the Jack Attack, right? It's a suplex with like 6 spins, and I just beat him, and then he just bleeds, and then like, yes, Jeffrey bleeds. That's absolutely right. I heard that chuckle. Yes, Jeffrey bleeds, because we're in the AEW ring, so everyone's gonna bleed.
So you're basically John Moxley defending bleeding in wrestling. No,
I'm not. No. I'm not. I will never bleed. I just don't. I will never bleed. Like the way that he loves. I played AEW Fight Forever. I hit him with an arm drag. He started bleeding. I said, "Oh my god, this game is realistic."
Speaking of AEW, George says he's watching AEW Collision on Saturdays. Them views are going down. No, I've seen articles and stuff and pictures. Them views are going down every time they put AEW Collision.
It is going down. I think
everybody's doing stuff on Saturdays. Some of us are going to shows. Some of us are working. You can't watch.
I always felt that. And last week was the first time I was able to watch AEW Collision, which was a good show. Cheap plug on the Big Pop Theory podcast. What we try to do is cover every little thing about wrestling from Monday nights. Not so much NXT because I'm here and she does it on Thursdays. AEW, Dynamite Collision. But I was able to watch it last week. And I've always said that I always felt that the time that they have it is weird. It's very weird.
Because I've never watched.
AEW Collision is Saturday at 8 p.m. I just think that's a weird time slot.
People are out on Saturdays. Most people are out by 7, 8 o'clock at their house.
Absolutely. And like I said, last week, this is the 3rd episode of Collision. And this was the first time I was able to watch Collision because I was just happened to be home. So, yeah, that's why we got no, I'm saying you watch it, but it's going to get dominated by the college football. See, this is why these are my
says that Moxley did say wrestling needs more blood. You want to find a company that has lots of blood? Moxley should go wrestle at Game Changing Wrestling because they have all the time.
He has, and you know what? I saw that article as well. He said that. And here's the thing: I don't mind blood in wrestling, but I don't think every match needs to have blood. I understood what he was trying to say to try to add realism to it because he's like, "Oh, it's a fight. Anything can happen. Where's the black eye? Where's the blood?" I understand that, but I also sit here and say, you save the blood for a cage match, Hell in a Cell, maybe a ladder match. I'm just saying those matches. It don't have to be a random episode of Monday Night Raw. Like if it happens, it happens. I think it also depends on the scenario. Like if you're writing somebody off. I remember when they wrote RVD off, 2007. And Randy Orton was just kicking people in the head, giving people concussions. I mean, there wasn't no blood, but RVD got dominated. I'm just saying that, it all depends, but I think that's all what, you know, it's all subjective. But listen, guys, we could be here for a whole nother hour, but we won't. We hope that you guys enjoyed this review. Once again, give it a like, give it a share. Share it if you are on YouTube. Do all those things on Twitter. Retweet this bad boy. It was fun. This was great. If we've entertained you, we say thank you for being entertained. We'll be back here next week on Tuesday. I feel like there's a joke in there because Von Wagner said come Tuesday. Very inappropriate, Von. But we'll be back here next week on. I'm trying to find the outro. I'm sorry, but this mouse has been bothering me.
Hey, Jeffrey.
What Jeffrey say? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
That worked. No, you guys are great. Putting up the 1, the 100 on the fire.
No, you guys are great in the chat. Thank you guys for always tuning in. Like it's 11 at night. You guys are here just shooting the shit with us with wrestling. We thank you guys. Also continue to follow Unpopular Review. So many great things on this platform, this brand. A lot of great hosts. Continue to follow us. We say thank you. Wrestling Dog, why don't you say goodbye to the lovely people?
Bye, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman. We're at 851 subscribers. I made an Instagram account for my new wrestling manager character persona. So you could follow it on Instagram at _Dark Dahlia and on Twitter as Dahlia_Dark1.
Oh, you're on Twitter now. Check you out. All right.
Well, I've been on Twitter for the last 12, 13 years. I just changed it up. So,
you know, not for nothing, because it's so hard to keep up with all the social media stuff right now. You know, people are living
threads.
Yeah, I can't keep up. I made a thread just to say what the hell is this, and then just never returned ever again. It's hard to keep up with this stuff. I might bring back Booking with Jack because it's this war now where we have Elon Muskie against Mark Zuckerberg. And you know, I think if you sit there and say how this match would go, Mark Zuckerberg would win because he has a background in Kung Fu. I saw a picture of him in a G. He might be able to shoot a Hadouken that I think Elon Musk could not counter. So yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. Maybe, you know, maybe we'll bring that back. Anyway, folks, we're gonna say goodnight. Peace out, folks. For the NXT Unpopular Review show or party, we say good night, and we catch you guys next week, Tuesday, after NXT go off the air.